born in Amsterdam, Holland, the Netherlands. My parents were from Germany and they moved there in 1933 to evade Hitler's hatred for the Jews. Holland remained neutral, so it was a country to which refugees ran, and my father thought this way he would be saved. Little did he know that it wasn't in World War II. So I remember very well the beginnings of the war. For instance, I like to play. Well, we weren't allowed to go to the park anymore. First, we weren't allowed to sit on a bench, and the next week, you're not allowed to go to the park. So these restrictions became every week stricter and stricter. But the most emotional moment was when I was 6 years old and I had to wear the Jewish star. I really felt from one moment to the next moment different than all my classmates. In 1942, the Germans, or the Nazi occupation, demanded that Jewish married families with children had to go on a transport to Mauthausen if the parents were between the ages of 20 and 45. We outfitted ourselves with new clothes, with boots, with backpacks, and I was very, very excited because we're going to go to a foreign country. And I was very, very excited. Of course, my parents knew what was coming. That night, my father said, you had to be at the train station. 2,000 people. They count them. And they told you, we're going to count you. And my father said, we're not going. We didn't say goodbye to anybody. Everybody thought we're going to meet each other at the station. The friends or family that had to go. We did not go. My mother had a girlfriend in Berlin who was her girlfriend from her school days. She was married to a big officer in the German Nazi party with a swastika on his sleeve. And my mother was able to contact her girlfriend through the underground. So my mother's birth certificate was taken out and a new birth certificate replaced without her religion. Now we're in March the 9th, 1943. My mother said, this is the last day you're wearing your star. Tomorrow morning, we're not Jewish anymore. Just like that. One day, a neighbor across the street gets caught. So they throw the husband in prison and they go to the wife. And they say, I know there are Jews hidden here in Amsterdam. Give me 5 Jews that are hidden, like Anne Frank, and we will release your husband. One of those names was my father. So here they come, bang, 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 knock at the door, and my father was taken to prison. You couldn't say goodbye. We just saw. You're so terrified when these Nazis come into your house. And you just look at your father's eyes, and the eyes talked. And all he could say, be strong, don't betray me.
Papa, can you hear me? Papa, can you see me? Papa, can you find me in the night? Papa,
he told us that no matter what happens, even if we're all are separated, and he knew that probably we will get separated and not survive as a family. He says, remember always who you were and where you came from.
Papa, how I love you. Papa, how I need you. Papa, how I miss you. Kissing me good night.
Meantime, I was also trained as a spy, as a child spy. I had my missions to do. And my most exciting thing for a 9-year-old, the most exciting was when the Nazis would shoot down the planes overhead. So I was trained to save them. So my code was, a ship is passing in the night. The one time when this happened to me, that I freed the flyer that was caught in a tree not far from my house, because I saw the plane coming down. It comes down in flames. And then you run, and you run, and you run, and you go find them. And I found them. And I knew how to cut him off his parachute. I knew how to hide it very quickly, because if the Germans would find it, they also saw the plane coming down. They also were looking for the flyer. I wasn't all alone. Every Friday night, my mother still lit candles and blew them out. Not supposed to blow them out, but we were afraid that if we leave them on, even if you close your curtains, neighbors somehow can see. The doorbell can ring. Imagine the Gestapo would give us a surprise razzia, and he comes and he sees the candles on the table. You can't even hide things so fast. So I kept my faith. It was Friday night, May the 4th, 1945, and we had just lit the candles, blew them out, and we were eating. So there was a lot of commotion on the street, and my father recognized people, his friends, who obviously were in hiding, listened to the BBC that tomorrow morning we'll be liberated. And we were so excited. My father says to me, today I'm taking you to the synagogue.
Traveling far without a home, but not without a star.
Come closer.
Too close.
Yeah, no, more. Like you always sit.
I always look like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Moon so bright, night so fine. Keep your heart here with mine. Life's a dream, we are dreaming.
Race the moon, catch the wind, ride the night to the end, seize the day, stand up for the light.
Oh, I did meet on a blind date. That was in 1954, I believe, on a Saturday night. And I believe that it was love on first sight.
He took, in the restaurants, coffee shops, we were in a coffee shop, they had matches on the table because people all smoked. So he flipped the matchbox, and that's where he wrote, "Will you marry me?" Now you tell it, because it's your story.
Anyhow.
Anyhow.
Throughout your
final chapter of 8 years of work. As you know, we have been friends of the university, supporting it. One day, Jack, our children are all married now, so in 1990, when the last one got married, we said we would like to do something else in life, something really meaningful that will leave the legacy of the Ehrenfreund, my dynasty, Nagel, Jack's dynasty, forever, for our children, for our grandchildren, and for what we worked. Why do people work so hard if you can't share it with the world?
They presented to us with a beautiful project, a building for Jewish education. And I, for the moment, was hesitant because I said, you have many buildings there. They said, no, we really do not have a building for Jewish education, strictly for Jewish education. And we went for it.
We also decided then to build, in memory of Jack's parents, a synagogue. And so I said, well, I want to do something in honor of my parents. And so we built an auditorium as well. So it's classrooms, faculty lounge, and right now it's a real jewel on the campus.
And for my 2 brothers.
And for your 2 brothers, we dedicated an entire floor of classrooms because they never were able to finish their education.
Many of our people are lost in a desert of ignorance, indifference. We must wake up and do something for them. And we must do it now while we still can. And I would consider it a crowning achievement of my life to know that this Jewish Heritage Center of Bar Ilan will be a clay kodesh, a dedicated instrument to impart Morashah, our heritage, to future generations.
As we are the Am HaSefer, the people of the book, we concentrated on Jewish education, which is the key to Jewish survival. We found this at Bar Ilan. This is the one university that respects all of us. May we ever be grateful for our most precious possession, our children and our grandchildren, as they help make the dream of this state into a state of dreams. Kids, life is wonderful. Therefore, enjoy it. Accept its challenge. Love its adventure and accept its destiny.
What's wrong with wanting more? If you can fly, then soar. With all there is, why settle for